Hi there, it's Diana from the Dianaverse, and I'm going to be doing some videos as I add to my fiber library here on YouTube of different breeds of wool. As I've started out with my fiber journey, I've accumulated various types of wool. I find people often give me fleeces that they're not using or for whatever reason, and so I end up with things of different breeds. I am becoming a little more selective and at least knowing what the breed is when someone gives me a wool. I'm a beginner just past that phase of I'll take anything and make it work. Now I kind of want to know what it is so that I know if I like it, I can get it again somewhere. Or if I don't like it, that I won't, invest in buying a fleece of that wool. But right now I'm enjoying exploring all the different types of wool. So what I have today to show you is from a sheep called Coopworth. This was given to me as a gift. Like I said, people give me wool from my friend Sue Hopkins. We've been doing a lot of natural dyes together, and I really appreciate this beautiful gift of a whole fleece of Coopworth. So Coopworth is a breed that was developed in New Zealand. It's a cross between Romney and the blue-faced Leicester sheeps. Those are both UK breeds of sheep, and the idea was to create a sheep that was a good all-around, a meat sheep as well as a wool sheep. And so this has that beautiful, soft, fluffy Romney kind of hand to it. It is a little bit coarser than just a straight up Romney. You could do this as a lace weight yarn if you're a little more experienced at spinning and want to slow down and make that effort to do it. I read other people online say that it's a little bit slubby, which means you get kind of thicker and thinner spaces in the wool as you're spinning it. So I'm doing it as a woolen, which is as opposed to worsted weight where you handle it a lot right at the orifice. It's a short draw and creates a more compact kind of wool that's good for a lot of sporty usages. Woolen weight is something that you're doing more as a long draw, and this wool is very well suited. It's a medium length staple, so and the staple is the length of the wool. If you imagine it like growing off the sheep, how long that is from the sheep to however long the hair of the sheep becomes is your staple. The medium staples are really nice for doing long draw. So that's what I've been doing as I've been spinning. It comes in this nice white color. I've also seen online some other more blue, gray, brownish tones of this particular breed. I have a skein that I've already spun and dyed and then plied into 2-ply, so you can see it's quite a chunky yarn. And this particular fleece, as soon as I started working with it, told me it wants to be a rug, and it specifically wants to be a rug in front of my bed. So I'm going to spin it all up and dye it with some various colors, and then I'll be putting it on the loom. I haven't decided if I'm going to try it on the floor loom or if I'm going to try it on the rigid heddle, but I will make myself a nice fluffy rug. Nice and warm on the tootsies when you get out of bed in the morning, right? So I'll just, if I can do this and stay inside the camera frame here. See, you're mostly getting a video of my junk, but this was the best lighting at the moment to do this with. So I'm using an Ashford style wheel here. So I'll get this going. A little performance anxiety as I get started, but yeah. So I'll just do a nice long draw and then let it go in. And it works pretty well that way. I got a little too thin right there. And usually that's what I do, as I've started my spinning process. I do a lot of someone the other day told me a toad weight, frog weight and toad weight, and they're both extremely, or maybe she called it frog hair. It's just very, very fine. So do a nice long draw, let it go in. And it works quite well for that. Spins up quite quickly, which is fun to get it done quite quickly with my frog hair that I usually do. Can take a while to actually get something spun. And a little congested this morning. I'm really trying this year because I like to naturally dye up my own yarns, to spin up as much wool as I can during the winter and then get it mordanted. So this summer, when I'm out there in the field gathering things to dye, you know, the plant part of the dyes, that I will have wool already ready. Because last year I did a whole lot of dyeing of roving, or even just scouring a fleece and then dyeing it, so I'd have something to work with, and that works all right. I think I've learned through that process what temperature to take my wool to, so I don't end up with something semi-felted that I'm trying to pry apart and then spin. But it's always easier to go from the roving and spin than, you know, it's going to full a little bit when you dye it, so it's nice to have that all prepared. So that's my wool of the day, is the Coopworth. Hope that helps you in planning. My weaving teacher, Jane Mann, who I studied with in Scotland last spring, was showing me the formulations of how you choose your wool and your set and your you know, your reed, how many ends per inch that you want when you're weaving, to come up with the kind of cloth that you're hoping to get at the end, right? If you know what you're doing, you can pre-plan that and come out with something that's drapey if it's going to be clothing, or that's stiffer if it's going to be a rug or something, right? And you can make those same choices with your wools that you start with. If you know the breed and you know the characteristics of that breed, it can really help you decide if you're using what you want for a project that you're going to do. Like, this is going to be great for a rug. It wouldn't be so nice for, let's say, a lacy top. You might be able to really struggle and get it to do that, but it's not its basic intrinsic quality. So hope this is helpful. I'll be doing more breeds as we go along, and hope you're doing lots of spinning this winter. All right, take care.